4, 3, 2, 1. TJ,
Yo,
how are you, brother?
I'm doing good, man.
What is it like now? What is this? First of all, what was it like that night? If for people who don't know, let me just give you the rundown, just so you don't have to say it.
Cool.
You were involved in one of the most high-profile flyweight fights ever. You're the bantamweight champion. You dropped down to flyweight. You went through this extensive training routine to get your body down to a manageable weight where you can cut the last 10 pounds or so and make 125. The fight starts. Cejudo lands a good shot early. There's a lot of action, and the referee stops the fight. And I was shook by it. Everybody that I was watching the fight with was like, "What the fuck?"
Dude,
And it was almost universal. Like no one thought it was a good stoppage. It's one of those stoppages where no one goes, "Yeah, it's a good stoppage. It's a good stoppage." No one. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" You jumped off, and you're like, "Dude, come on, man."
It's been rough, man. It's a rough one to swallow on multiple reasons. You know, like you say, he landed a good shot. Everything's being overshadowed by this shot that landed behind my ear. You know, I was off balance. I threw a right hand. I came in a little too aggressive. That's the way I fight, right? He pushed me over. I was off balance. He threw a kick. I blocked it, and he went to throw a right hand, and I tried to dip out of the way. And it was one of those shots that hits you behind the head, like right behind the ear. Not illegal, right? We're on our feet. It's completely illegal, but it was an unfortunate situation. One of those punches just kind of takes your feet out from underneath you. You're 100% there, but your equilibrium's off, you know, and he jumps on me. I remember hearing the ref say, "Dillashaw, show me something." I told him I'm good. And I remember talking to him before the fight in the back, and he said, like, "If I'm telling you that, make sure you're talking to me. Show me something, you know."
But how are you talking?
I said it. I said I'm good.
I mean, but in his, you know, from his perspective, how does he expect you to talk while you're blocking punches?
He even said too in the back before the fight too, like, you know, give me a thumbs up or something if you're gonna choke, this or that, you know. So to be honest, I think I didn't know who he was. I think he's really inexperienced. Watching him ref as well too, jumping around as soon as the commotion kind of happened, he was looking for a reason to stop it almost. But you know, I
think he was amped up.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's a big fight
for him too. You know, for him to get a high-profile fight, first time on ESPN Plus.
Yes,
big deal.
100%,
huge deal.
100%. So I think that's the part that most bugs me more is that I was there, but it was the shot that hit me behind the head. And then obviously the controversial stoppage. So it's a rough one to swallow. You know, it's definitely been bugging me, but I'm good about keeping my mind off of things and staying busy. I'm already back in the gym, doing business things, and trying to stay as busy as possible so I don't think about it and want to punch a hole through a wall every time I walk by one.
Well, it's such a different fight because it was such an arduous task for you to get down to flyweight. I mean, people are looking. You look great right now. Your face is full. You look healthy. But goddamn, dude, I saw you the week of the fight on television.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at his face.
I looked like a tweaker.
Yeah, you did. You looked like you were, you know, Cejudo said it best. You look like an ultra marathon runner, like some guy who runs long distances. Like,
if I would have decided to lose all the way at the end, I wouldn't have looked like that, right? But I got my body down to 5 to 6% body fat, you know. So when I start losing anything towards the end, it's gonna come. You're gonna see it out of my face,
right?
You know. And I'm one of those guys that loses and gains weight out of my face, you know. After my fights, we call myself Fat Tyler because that's my real name's Tyler, and I go by TJ. And so Justin Buckles gave me that name back at Alpha Male, like
Fat Tyler.
I'd always get puffy faced after my fight, so my alter ego's Fat Tyler. You know, I'm going out and eating and being an asshole, but
eating spaghetti and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when I decided to, like, if I did it over 12 weeks, so my body weight was down. I mean, my body fat percentage is down to 5%.
That's crazy.
And so when you lose any more water weight or anything, you're going to see it come out of your face. And because I was doing it for so long.
Now, what was it like being that low as far as your body fat goes? What was your performance like physically? How'd you feel? I
felt the best I've ever felt before I walked out before the fight.
Really?
Dude, that's another reason why I'm just so bitter about this thing, is because I didn't get a chance to show the work that I put in. I didn't get a chance to show all the science behind Sam Calivita and what he did to my body. I was stronger for this fight than I was my last Cody fight. I walked out 2 pounds heavier for this fight than I did my last Cody fight.
What did you walk out to?
Before I started warming up, I weighed 149.
What?
Yes, and I felt great. I didn't feel bloated. Didn't feel nothing.
Wait a minute. You went from 125 to 149.
Yeah. I was a glycogen battery. I was ready to fucking go. I couldn't get tired before the fight when I was warming up in the back. I seriously, like, I've never felt better than this before a fight. Like, my mood, my energy levels, like me hitting mitts with Dwayne in the back, warming up. I was feeling smooth. I was feeling good. I remember even walking out in the cage and everything felt too good, almost too. I remember looking over at Dwayne, smiling at him. I felt awesome. And that's even more of an unfortunate situation. I didn't get to really show that, you know?
Well, I mean, hats off to Henry because he's a beast.
Of course.
I mean, he did catch you, and he is one of the best. And he's that kind of caliber of athlete is what made this fight so special. You being the bantamweight champion, going down to flyweight. And I think the way you did it is probably the only way to really do it.
Safely.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I guess you were safe because you were like, what, 135-ish the day before?
I made weight the night before the fight.
What?
Or no, the night before weigh-ins. So I went to sleep 1.3 pounds over, and I floated that. I actually took a shit the morning of weigh-ins, which is insane. That never happens. Like, my body was still working. I wanted to make the weight the night before because obviously I hadn't made 125s. I didn't want to have to wake up in the morning and see what my body was going to do and if it was going to give me that extra water. But I made weight super easy, man. Like, don't get me wrong, the 12 weeks was a motherfucker. It was hard. It was a lot of work, but the actual weight cut was easy. I had no hiccups, nothing. Like, Sam would tell me like what to go to bed at. He knew what I was going to wake up at. He tells me the water loading I'm doing, the amount of electrolytes I'm taking in, the amount of food I'm eating, and so he knows exactly what my body's going to wake up and do. He's been tracking it for not 2 years now.
That guy sounds brilliant. I really need to talk to him. I've watched videos of him talking about it and seen the work, and just what a unique individual he is. I
mean, that's why I decided to move back down to Southern California.
For him, really?
For him, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and then everything else kind of came along with it. My life is wonderful now. The people I got around me. I'm lucky that I have Dwayne Ludwig that's willing to travel out and train with me out there. But I moved down to Southern California because of Sam Calivita, and I came down to 2 weeks with him and started noticing, like, man, this guy knows his shit. You know? Like, I didn't
uniquely know. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who know their shit, but he seems like he's on some new level.
I mean, he sent me graphs that I have on my phone of like he every week we knew exactly where my body weight wanted to be at. He was telling me weights that I'd be at before I would even be there. My body would just do it, you know?
So you didn't need a separate person. So this is what's unusual about this. Normally, if you would hire somebody, you would hire like a George Lockhart or someone like that, Mike Dolce, and then you'd hire them almost specifically just for the weight cut and some nutrition advice. He's training you physically as well.
He's telling me my low base, like, so my long distance running or my fasted low base. He does everything. My strength conditioning, my nutrition. They make my meals. They do all my meal prep. He's telling me like how much low base I need to do per week, like either morning or night. He's telling me when I should train. Everything is completely mapped out. There's no guesswork in it. There's nothing. Like, he's telling me everything. Like, he's listening to my heart rate when I'm sleeping, my heart rate variabilities. He's telling me what supplements to take, all of it, you know, like everything. I seriously, and that's another reason why it's just so tough that this fight didn't get to like really let me prove anything, not only for myself and who I am, but the work that this guy put in. You know, like, I'm going to sit here and brag about him and tell him about how badass he is, but then people want to tell me like, oh, you were malnourished, you don't have a chin, 125s was a bad cut for you, they're giving him crap all over the place. And I almost feel just as bad for him as I do for myself, for how much work he put into it and how great I felt before the fight, and I didn't get a chance to show it. Like I said, I walked out at 149, glycogen battery, ready to go. I really never felt better.
God.
I know, man. It was insane. Like, I really couldn't believe like how my body absorbed everything, you know?
So what are you walking around like now?
I'm in low 50s. I'm in low 50s right now, but that's because I'm trying to be at low 50s. My body instantly wanted to just store everything, and I got up to like 60s, low 60s, and I was like, oh shit. So I started doing some hot yoga and going to work. I just worked out with Sam yesterday. I'm going to his house later after this, you know. So that's kind of the only way my mind can stay at ease right now with everything that's been going on, is that I need to get back in the gym.
What was that night like after it was over? I mean, going back to your dressing room and going back to your hotel?
It was rough, man. It was definitely a motherfucker. I was pissed. You know, everyone wants to call me like a sore loser. I've never said I wasn't a sore loser. I fucking hate losing more than anybody. I mean, you show me a champion or a high level competitor that likes losing, and I'll call you a liar. You know what I mean?
I think you're 100% correct. And Jamie and I have talked about this many times when we're talking about LeBron James or Michael Jordan. Those guys were infamous for being terrible losers.
I hate losing.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think you get to be that elite of the elite unless you're a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
I really think that.
I mean, I think about it constantly. You know, I'm one of those OCD guys that's, if I'm not in the gym, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about my training. And sometimes I need to distract myself. You know, that's why I distract myself with other businesses or things I got going on because I think about it too much. And so, especially when it's a controversial thing, when people are questioning things, and it's going to piss you off even more. I mean, I hate losing. So you're definitely going to see that. So that night was rough, man. I mean, the ride back to the hotel, and, you know, I didn't want to go out. I didn't really want to eat. I just wanted to hang out with my son, you know, like just get me away from fighting. Let me think about my family. So, yeah.
So, where is everything at right now in terms of, have you talked to the UFC? What was their take on everything? I know Dana said it was a quick stoppage.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's been saying it's a quick stoppage. We got Big John McCarthy. Big John McCarthy's calling out the ref, saying he thought it was a quick stoppage. We got
I talked
Dana
to Mike Beltran a couple
yeah.
nights ago.
So
he was
did
saying
I.
the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, so everyone thinks it, you know, and Dana was saying like, hey, kid, we'll figure it out next couple of days. Early stoppage. I'm obviously pissed about it. There's nothing I want this to happen, you know. So my manager Tiki, he's been in talks. We haven't really heard nothing yet on the decision of what's going to happen.
I love Tiki.
He's the best.
He's a great guy.
He's a great manager because he's been in the fight game.
Yes.
He's been around. He's fought. He's been here forever. Early UFC days.
He's such a good dude too. He's just got such a great personality. He's just a fun guy to be around.
Yeah. So he's been awesome for my career. I've only been with him for a short while of time, but he's been awesome for me. But he's been in talks with Hunter and Dana, and so I'm hoping to figure out something soon because I'll fight tomorrow. You know, like I'll fight Henry at whatever weight he wants. I obviously would prefer 25s because I put in a lot of work, and I want to show that I know what I'm doing, and it wasn't a fluke, or that this was a fluke, that this wasn't something that.
Well, here's the deal. Even if the fight went longer and he stopped you, and he legitimately stopped you, look, he's Henry Cejudo. I mean, that's a possibility. This is the game.
100%.
This is what it is.
That's why MMA is so great.
Right.
Anything can happen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you go out there, like no matter if you're the huge favorite, anything can happen.
Yes.
You know?
What it just didn't get a chance to happen. That's what's unfortunate. I mean, he really did land some good shots. He really was coming on strong.
I agree.
But
he came out ready.
Yeah.
He's
a monster.
Ready. Yeah.
He's a bad motherfucker. And so are you, which is why that fight was so interesting.
He had some shit to prove. He was there to save the flyweight division.
Yeah.
And look, he did it. No one, I mean, until I had the balls enough to drop down to 125s, there really wasn't any hype on a flyweight fight. But then there was, and now there still is. And he wants to save that. He wants to talk about saving the flyweight division. Then let's do it.
Well, I think he wants to go up,
of course,
because then he can be champ.
And I understand that.
There was no champ before. When Conor came wrong, Conor really changed the game in so many ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the ways he changed the game was calling himself champ.
Yeah.
Now everybody is champ.
Yep.
You know, Ryan Bader's champ.
Yep.
You know, I mean, Amanda Nunes is champ.
I mean, it's a way to market yourself and get your name out there.
Yeah.
It is a really big deal, you know.
But the term champ.
Oh yeah.
It's like that is a fucking Conor McGregor. That's a Conor McGregor term.
He's got some gold behind his touch. You know, anything he touches turns into gold. Right now, Lucky Charm.